What is going on, guys? Hassan Malik back here again, and now that 2021 has come to an end, I thought it'd be a great time to take a look back at every single LEGO Star Wars set that we got this year and rank them. So we are going to be taking a look at every single set that is released this year, and we are going to be ranking them from worst to the best. But before we get into it, I did want to give a very quick reminder that the giveaway for $100 worth of your choice of LEGO sets is currently going on. So you can win a bunch of the sets that we're going to be taking a look at today. All you have to do to enter is make sure you are subscribed to the channel, follow that link in the description, and then sign in with your YouTube account. Super simple and 100% free. Now, I did a video similar to this with the Marvel theme. It was kind of like a buyer's guide video, so this video functions similar to that. And just as a quick disclaimer, this list is just my opinion. Obviously, it's going to be very different from yours, and that is completely okay. Just make sure to head down in the comments below and make your opinions heard. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we have 24 sets on this list, and at number 24, we have set number 75297, the Resistance X-Wing Starfighter. This set retails for $20 and includes 60 pieces. Now, that price per part ratio is completely off, but that is due to the fact that this is actually a junior set. And because it's a junior set, it obviously doesn't appeal to me all that much, which is completely okay. It's not a bad set or anything, I just don't think it's that great, giving it the last spot on our list. Alright, so moving on, at number 23, we have set number 40451, the Tatooine Homestead. It's actually a gift with purchase, so it doesn't actually have a price, but it does include 217 pieces. Now, the gift with purchase sets from May the 4th have been a little bit controversial over the past few years. They've been a little bit lackluster and underwhelming, and to be honest, this set kind of follows that trend. I'm not really that big of a fan of it. It's not bad by any means, it's just a gift that you get with a regular purchase of LEGO Star Wars sets, so it is kind of like a free set. But as a build itself here, I don't think it looks all that great, and there are some better gift with purchase sets that we're going to be taking a look at later on this list. On to number 22, we have set number 75295, the Millennium Falcon Microfighter. This set retails for $10 and includes 101 pieces. Now, I'm not really sure how many renditions of the Millennium Falcon we've seen in Microfighter form. This might be the second or even the third one now. But Microfighters are still a great line of LEGO Star Wars sets, especially for younger kids, and it's also a great way to get your hands on some pretty nice minifigures at a fairly cheap price. The Millennium Falcon looks cool, and that Han Solo minifigure looks great as well. This isn't the best Microfighter that we've seen this year, but definitely is a good one. So moving on to number 21 here, we have the other Microfighters, which is set number 75298, the AT-AT vs Tauntaun Microfighters. This set retails for $20 and includes 205 pieces. Now, this set has two Microfighters versus the one in the Millennium Falcon set, so obviously it's going to be a little bit better. But the main reason I like this set so much is actually for the Tauntaun build here. The Tauntaun is kind of done in a normal minifigure scale, so in some ways this isn't even a Microfighter set. Either way though, the main reason I end up buying any of these sets is mainly for the minifigures, and these minifigures in this set are a little bit better than the ones in the Millennium Falcon set. We get an AT-AT pilot here, and also Luke Skywalker in his Hoth outfit, which is a great looking minifigure. So really great minifigures and a pretty decent Tauntaun build, giving this our 21st spot on this list. And moving on, at number 20, we have set number 75307, the 2021 Star Wars Advent Calendar. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of Advent Calendars. I don't actually end up buying them for most years. They only ever really catch my interest if they have like an exclusive minifigure or something like that, and this one doesn't really have that many exclusive minifigures. We do get to see Mando and Grogu in exclusive Christmas outfits, but other than that, there's not too much going on here that's exclusive. I do like the fact that this entire Advent Calendar is pretty much based on the Mandalorian. I think that's pretty cool, especially since the Mandalorian is currently like the biggest thing going on in Star Wars. So a pretty good Advent Calendar with some pretty nice builds and a really good selection of minifigures. Alright, moving on here, at number 19, we have set number 40483, Luke Skywalker's Lightsaber. This set is our other gift with purchase set, and it includes 173 pieces. Now, when I mentioned earlier that gift with purchase sets could be much better, this is exactly what I was talking about. Now, I have been saying for years that LEGO should be giving lightsabers their own line of sets in the LEGO Star Wars theme. I think these would do very well in stores, and they would make for some great display pieces. This one's actually currently available. It's what you get if you buy the UCS AT-AT, but ever since we've seen the gift with purchase Yoda's lightsaber hilt, I've always wanted sets like this to be their own retail sets. I would definitely pay good money for sets like this, and hopefully we see an 18+ line of sets in the Star Wars theme based entirely on lightsaber hilts. So yeah, a really great gift with purchase set. Moving on here, at number 18, we have set number 75299, the Trouble on Tatooine. This set retails for $30 and includes 276 pieces. Now, when this set first launched, it was super sought after. You could never really find it in stores, and that was mainly due to the fact that this was the only set that included Mando in his complete Beskar outfit. And at the time, time, it was also the cheapest way to get your hands on a Grogu minifigure. But with the newest wave of LEGO Star Wars sets, we've seen this Mando minifigure included in so many more sets, and honestly this set doesn't really have that much going for it other than the minifigures. The builds in my opinion aren't that impressive other than the speeder, and in general it's not really based on that iconic of a moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, that episode was cool and everything, but the coolest part about that episode was actually seeing the Krayt Dragon and seeing Mando face off against it. But this set doesn't really represent that in any way. We pretty much get a Hutt, a Tusken Raider, the Ballista, and the speeder build. I think it would have been much cooler if it included Cobb Vanth in his bootleg Boba armor and also his speeder. So yeah, kind of a forgettable set now, even though it was pretty big when it first launched. Alright, moving on here at number 17, we have set number 75302, the Imperial Shuttle. This set retails for $70 and includes 660 pieces. Now, when we first heard rumors about this Imperial Shuttle, I was really excited, but I was also very concerned with that $70 price tag. And unfortunately, because of the price tag, I do think the build has suffered quite a bit. As Imperial Shuttles go, this is not one of the better ones that we've seen. I do respect what LEGO is trying to do here. They're trying to give us a really cool vehicle at a more affordable price. But the thing is, this build just doesn't look all that good to me, especially with the nose of the shuttle itself. There's just way too much going on underneath the head of the shuttle there, and it sticks out even more in person. And you pair that with the fact that this set doesn't really have the greatest minifigure selection. You do get a pretty nice Luke Skywalker, as well as a really nice Darth Vader minifigure. But the thing is, this is the Darth Vader without the arm printing. And if you spend a little bit more money, you could buy the Death Star Final Battle set from last year, which includes a much better Darth Vader, this exact same Luke Skywalker, and the Emperor as well, in a much better set. So if you're looking to get your hands on these minifigures specifically, or wanted something from Return of the Jedi, I'd really recommend going with that. It's not too old at the moment, and you can still find it in stores, so it shouldn't be too bad. Either ways, that will do it for the Imperial Shuttle. Let's move on here to number 16 with set number 75296, the Darth Vader Meditation Chamber. This set also retails for $70 and includes 663 pieces. Now, right off the bat, I gotta say, this is a pretty cool build. It's kind of part of that new 18+ line of LEGO Star Wars sets, which are more targeted at adults. The builds are more like display models rather than sets, and I generally prefer those sets over the regular LEGO Star Wars ones. And this set is really cool. It has a really nice build. We also get to see that really nice Darth Vader minifigure here with the arm printing as well. And the meditation chamber itself is not something that we've seen portrayed all that much in LEGO form, even though it's a fairly iconic moment from The Empire Strikes Back. So I do like the build here. It does include the feature of raising and lowering the top of the meditation chamber. But the main issue with this set is the price. I know the piece count is 663 pieces, so $70 seems like it should be fair, but a lot of those pieces do go into the base of this set, which don't really take up all that much space. So when you look at this thing and then think $70, it just feels a little bit too overpriced. I still think it's a cool set and a cool build and everything, but it definitely could have been cheaper. And just like with the last set, if you're looking to get your hands on a Darth Vader minifigure or just something from the original trilogy, I'd recommend spending a little bit more money and going with that Death Star 2 Final Battle from last year. Anyways, still a cool set. Moving on here, we have set number 75304, the Darth Vader helmet. This set also retails for $70 and includes 834 pieces. Now, this is part of the LEGO Star Wars helmet line of sets, and in general, I do like this line of sets. I think they make for some great display pieces, and I think this is one of the best they've made so far. I do still think this entire line of sets should include the minifigures of the characters they're portraying in the sets as well. Like if you just kind of added them in front of the base, I think it would make the sets so much better. But nonetheless, it's still a cool build, and I think they replicated Darth Vader's helmet here pretty well. $70 honestly does feel a little bit steep, especially just for a display item like this, but the piece count is there to back it up, and I guess it's a more iconic and recognizable helmet, so it may be worth that money just depending on you as a person. But definitely one of the better helmet sets that we've seen so far. Moving on here at number 14, we have set number 75305, the Scout Trooper helmet. This is also part of that same helmets line, except this set retails for $50 and includes 471 pieces. Now, the sizes of these two sets are kind of similar. The Darth Vader set is obviously bigger, but is it really $20 bigger? That's kind of the question here. And I think at $50, the Scout Trooper helmet is a much better deal. Also, I do think this build of the Scout Trooper helmet here does a better job at recreating its real-life counterpart. Not like that much more of a better job, just slightly better. I just think the Scout Trooper build looks a little bit more like a Scout Trooper helmet than the Darth Vader build looks like a Darth Vader helmet. I hope that made sense, but either way, it's a really cool helmet set, just slightly better than the Darth Vader one in my opinion, and that'll give it our number 14 spot. Moving on here, at number 13, we have set number 75306, the Imperial Probe Droid. This set retails for $60 and includes 683 pieces. Now, this is kind of done like in a similar style to the helmets line. It's an 18+ set, it's pretty expensive, and it kind of just acts as a display piece, but it's also done in a UCS style with a display panel here, giving all the details and information mention about the Probe Droid. So in reality, it's kind of just like a really cheap UCS set, and I think that's absolutely awesome. I would love to see more sets like this around 60 bucks. I think they would make for some great display pieces, and I think they should do something similar to this with some of these smaller vehicles from the Star Wars universe, like maybe with a Naboo Starfighter or something like that. In general, I think there's a lot of potential with this size of LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. And also, I think the Probe Droid is pretty cool, and they did a great job on the build here. Alright, moving on to number 12 here, we have set number 75310, the Duel on Mandalore. This set retails for 20 bucks and includes 147 pieces. Now, I absolutely love this dual line of sets that we've been getting for the past few years now. We've seen it with Rey vs Kylo, Obi-Wan vs Anakin, and now Ahsoka vs Maul. So in general, I just love this line of sets, and then you pair that with the fact that it's based on the Clone Wars Season 7, which is super amazing, and this set is recreating one of the best parts of that season, so I'm immediately going to be drawn to this set. Unfortunately, it does include the exact same Ahsoka minifigure that we did get last year, that everyone bought that AAT set for. I was never really a big fan of that set, everyone just bought it for the Ahsoka minifigure, and I think LEGO knew exactly what they were doing when they included her in that set. She didn't really need to be in that set, but I'm glad they included her in this much cheaper option. So if you guys didn't get your hands on Ahsoka before, now you can. And I do think this is a much better set than that AAT. Now, the one small problem with this set is the price. I think at $20 is a little bit too expensive. I know it has a total of 147 pieces, but it really does feel like it should be around $15. I mean, the build for this set is literally just a chair. I wouldn't even go as far as to call it a throne because it's not really that elaborate of a throne, but I do like the fact they included the build from Maul's prison as well. I think that was pretty clever. In general, it's still a really cool set, and I think that Maul minifigure is absolutely perfect. He is finally not smiling. The LEGO Darth Maul minifigures, for some reason, have always had like a really weird smile, which made it look really creepy and weird. Not creepy in a cool way, kind of like how he is in the show, but just creepy in a strange way. So this minifigure captures his look much better, and I think it looks great. But yeah, really great set, and if you're a fan of the Clone Wars Season 7, this is pretty much a must-buy set. Alright, moving on here at number 11, we have set number 75311, the Imperial Armored Marauder. This set retails for 40 bucks and includes 478 pieces. Now this set's a little bit confusing because I think 40 bucks seems like a little bit too much for what you get here, but somehow it does include 478 pieces, so I guess it kind of makes sense with that price per part ratio. It still doesn't feel like $40 worth of stuff to me, but either way, it's a pretty cool build. The Armored Marauders were really cool in the Mandalorian Season 2, and I'm glad they recreated that scene here in the LEGO form. You get a really nice selection of minifigures here with Greef Karga, 2 Stormtroopers, and also a Mortar Trooper. I'm really glad to see that Mortar Trooper because we don't get different variations of Stormtroopers enough in LEGO form. I do kind of feel like this set is missing Cara Dune though. I really feel like she needed to be in this set. She was very important in that entire episode, especially in that chase sequence with the Armored Marauders facing off against the TIE Fighters. She was kind of leading the charge there, so it kind of doesn't make that much sense that she's not in this set. I could have easily went with one less Stormtrooper here and replaced her with Cara Dune. Just give us the exact same minifigure they had from last year. Either way though, I still think it's a really good looking vehicle, and I think LEGO did a good job at recreating it here in LEGO form. We don't really get too many troop transports and things like that in the LEGO form, so when you do get one, you kind of have to jump on it. But a really cool set. Moving on here at number 10, we have set number 75319, the Armorer's Mandalorian Forge. This set retails for 30 bucks and includes 258 pieces. Now this set is actually based on the Mandalorian Season 1, but it also does include that Mando minifigure and his complete Beskar outfit. He does wear pretty much the exact same outfit from Season 1 to Season 2, so it does canonically make sense. The build here is really nice, as I'm sure you guys have probably heard in many of my other videos. I always prefer getting builds of environments and locations rather than vehicles, and I think this is a fairly iconic location to recreate in the LEGO form. Mando did revisit this place quite a bit in Season 1, and I think LEGO did a pretty good job at recreating it here. There's tons of little Easter eggs and details to what we see in the show. You got a blank Mandalorian helmet here, a sticker for the Mythosaur, we got the Forge itself, and a whole bunch of Beskar ingots. But the main reason that you're going to be buying this set is for the minifigures themselves, and those are absolutely fantastic. Now, I did say earlier this Mando minifigure was the exact same as the last Mando minifigures we've seen before, but he does include an extra accessory here, which is his highly sought after Beskar jetpack. Then we get the armor here with the new mold of Mandalorian helmet. A lot of people took issue with the printing on this Mandalorian helmet, and I do understand those concerns. It is printed a little bit too low, but I still do think it looks pretty good. I still think this minifigure should have had some kind of fur coat or cape represented here in LEGO form. But either way, the minifigure does look pretty good. And then lastly, we have Paz Vizsla here, which looks absolutely amazing. He looked really cool in the TV show, and I think LEGO did a good job of recreating him here in LEGO form. I'm a really big fan of Mandalorian minifigures, so a set like this is going to rank really highly on my list. But that will pretty much do it for this set. So moving on here at number 9, we have set number 75301, the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing Starfighter. This set retails for $50 and includes 474 pieces. Now, I think a lot of you guys are probably going to be asking why I rank this set so high, and this is kind of based on not only the set itself, but also what it represents. So for the longest time, for like 5 years now, I've always been saying LEGO sets are getting way too large and way too expensive. Like, LEGO has become a very unrealistic option for a lot of kids and even a lot of LEGO Star Wars collectors. It pretty much used to be if you want to get your hands on a basic X-Wing and a TIE Fighter and just have a basic dogfight, that would cost you upwards of like $200, and I think that's absolutely insane. So I have always said that LEGO needs to bring down the prices of these sets and give us the same vehicles in smaller builds at a much more affordable price. And this year, LEGO went ahead and did exactly that. We got sets like this X-Wing and also a TIE Fighter, and I think that's absolutely great. Yes, the build isn't as impressive as some of the X-Wings that we've seen before, but the fact of the matter is this is still an X-Wing, it still functions like an X-Wing, and it still does look pretty good, but it's also way cheaper than the last X-Wing that we've seen. So yes, the build does have its problems, but I still think it's a great set, and if you're looking to get your hands on an X-Wing, this is a great one to pick up. And at number 8 here we have set number 75300, the Imperial TIE Fighter. This set retails for $40 and includes 432 pieces. So this set is up here pretty much for the exact same reasons as the last one that we just looked at. This set is actually even cheaper though at $40 instead of $50, and I actually do prefer the build of the TIE Fighter here over the build for the X-Wing. The X-Wing just feels a little bit more flimsy to me, and there are slight flaws in the build that I just don't like all that much. The main feature of opening and closing the wings doesn't feel as solid as I'd like it to, and it also does include some unretractable landing gear, which is a little bit unfortunate. But at that price, I still think it's a really cool build. Luckily, this TIE Fighter doesn't really have any of those issues. Granted, TIE Fighters are much more simple in design. They don't really have a bunch of moving parts, which I guess is also why the price is cheaper. Yes, these wings do look a little bit stubby, but I do still think it gets the look across and is also a great looking TIE Fighter. See, isn't that pretty fantastic? Now you can just buy this X-Wing and this TIE Fighter, and for $90, you can recreate a dogfight. Whereas before, that would cost you around $200, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, definitely a step in the right direction. I can't wait to see what LEGO does with this style of set in the future. And moving on here at number 7, we have set number 75315, the Imperial Light Cruiser. This set retails for $160 and includes of 1,336 pieces. Now this set has been ripped apart for so long by so many LEGO Star Wars fans, and I understand why. There's a lot of flaws and inaccuracies with the set, but the thing is, I've always been a sucker for large cruisers and starships in LEGO form. So things like Republic cruisers, Imperial Star Destroyers, Rebel Alliance cruisers, that kind of thing. I always love getting sets like that so you can recreate these large-scale space battles. And yes, even though this set does have its flaws, it's pretty much one of those style of sets. It's a very large Imperial Light Cruiser, and this is a vehicle that I'd never really thought that we see in LEGO form. Luckily, the Mandalorian did increase this vehicle's reputation, so here it is now in LEGO form. So yes, even though it's flawed, I still do like this set. And also, you get a really nice selection of minifigures here. We get to see that Mando minifigure again. We get Grogu, Cara Dune, the exact same one that we've gotten before. We get a really nice Fennec Shand minifigure. I'm really hoping that she's included in the upcoming Boba Fett sets. We also get to see Moff Gideon as well, and then also a Dark Trooper. By the way, if you want to get your hands on this Dark Trooper minifigure, make sure not to buy this set, and don't buy this minifigure separately either, not on eBay or Bricklink. We will be getting a battle pack later next year that'll include a whole bunch of Dark Troopers at a much more affordable price. So wait for that to come out if you're looking to get these minifigures. But one concern I do agree with is the price point here. $160 is way too much. It should be like 140 or 150 max, but yes, still a cool set. Moving on here at number 6, this one's going to be a little bit of a shocker. We have set number 75309, the Republic Gunship. This set retails for $350 and includes a whopping 3,293 pieces. Now, I can already hear it, the comments are going to be ripping me apart. Like, how could I not like this set? But here's the thing, guys, it's not that I don't like this set. It's still ranked pretty highly on my list here. It's at number 6. But honestly, it's not my favorite UCS set that we've seen in the last few years. And that probably sounds a little bit weird coming from me, especially with how much I've praised the LEGO Republic gunships. But here's the thing, remember when we got that UCS vote a while back where we could pick the Republic gunship or the medical frigate? I actually voted for the medical frigate. And my main reason for that was due to the fact that I didn't want to see this gunship recreated in UCS form. I think what most LEGO fans wanted was a recreation of the set set that we got previously in 2013. Just give us a regular sized gunship that we could use in our clone armies and things like that. Like, this is a cool set, don't get me wrong, it's really impressive, it's absolutely huge, but it's not really what I wanted as a new LEGO Republic gunship, and I don't think it's what a lot of fans wanted as well. It's still a cool build though, and it's really impressive, don't get me wrong, I just really wanted a normal sized Republic gunship. Now, here's the other thing about this set. There are some vehicles in the Star Wars universe that don't need to be recreated in LEGO form at this large of a scale. Like, I get recreating a UCS Republic gunship, but why does it need to be this large? Like, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive and everything, but just the way that this vehicle is shaped, it's very oddly shaped, making it pretty difficult to display. And the thing is, all the UCS sets are designed to be display pieces, which I think this set is not that great at. Like, honestly, I think this set should have been a little bit smaller if they just did a normal minifigure scale with a whole bunch of detail. I think that would have been much better, but it is what it is. And for those of you that wanted a UCS Republic gunship, there you go, you got it. I know it sounds like I'm hating on this set a lot, but don't get me wrong, I do really like the build and the design of the set. The minifigure selection is absolutely abysmal, but the set itself is still really cool. It's just not really what I wanted out of a Republic gunship, and because of that, feels a little bit lackluster as a UCS set. So yes, I do not hate this set, guys. I like it, I just don't like it all that much. So please don't rip me apart in the comments for it. It's still ranked at number 7, guys, don't worry. I didn't rank it that low. Moving on though, and this is probably gonna piss a lot of you guys off, at number 5, we have set number 75308, R2-D2. This set retails for $200 and includes 2,314 pieces. Now, if I didn't piss off the fans of the Republic gunship before, I definitely did now. Like, how could I rate this R2-D2 over the UCS gunship? Well, my main reason for it is kind of just what I mentioned before. There are some vehicles and builds and just stuff from the Star Wars universe that don't need to be done in a UCS scale. Like, for example, the Republic gunship. I think that's a weird vehicle to make at that large of a size. Like, to me, it's kind of like if we got a UCS ARC 170 Starfighter. That'd be pretty cool to see, it's just what I wanted, probably not. On the flip side of that, we have a character like R2-D2, which I think is perfect for a UCS set. He's got a very detailed design with all these different features and everything, so you could really pack in so much into a UCS style set without making it lose too much of its display value. I think the previous UCS R2-D2 was a really good set, and I think LEGO agrees, which is why they gave us another one here in 2021. R2-D2 is super iconic and very recognizable, and I think this build does a great job of recreating him here in a LEGO form. So yes, I ranked R2-D2 over the UCS gunship. Please don't fight me in the comments. Alright guys, so moving on here, at number 4, we have set number 75314, the Bad Batch's Attack Shuttle. This set retails for $100 and includes 969 pieces. Now, right off the bat, the Bad Batch was a little bit of an underwhelming show in my opinion. It wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it when it was good. It was really good, but unfortunately when it was bad, it was also really bad. And I think overall as a show, there were a whole lot of misses with not that many hits. Nonetheless, I still enjoyed the show. I really did like the characters, especially their designs. The vehicles were cool, and these are some of the coolest looking clone troopers that we've ever seen in Star Wars. And this set includes pretty much all of that. We get a really cool looking vehicle here with the Marauder shuttle. And on top of that, you get the entire Bad Batch in this set. Yes, it's not including Omega, but that's okay. You get all the members here in their clone armors. All these minifigures look really good. The printing is very detailed. Tech's head is a little bit too big, but I'm kind of nitpicking there. It's still a good looking minifigure. And in general, this set does very well on so many different levels. Now, originally when this set came out, there was a whole lot of controversy surrounding this set. The main two issues being the color of the ship here, and also why Crosshair had this different armor. Like, Crosshair has some of the best looking armor in the Bad Batch. I think he probably has the coolest looking armor of the Bad Batch. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that here in minifigure form. We got his Imperial outfit. But at the time this set was announced, we didn't really know that about the show. We didn't know he was going to be wearing this outfit pretty much the entire season. And also with the color of the ship, they did go with sand blue here. I still think light gray would have been a little bit better. But honestly, after watching the show, it does look sand blue in some areas, so I get why the designers went with that choice. And as a toy itself, I think it might have looked a little bit too basic and bland with the light gray. And on top of that, you get two cool speeders. I do think that Bark speeder should not be included in the set. I don't know why it is. It's like the same thing they did with the 501st Battle Pack. In fact, it's the exact same build. That feels really lazy to me. It's just there to bring up the piece count and increase the price. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, this is still a really cool vehicle. It's very unique looking. It doesn't look all that much like other LEGO sets that we've seen from the Star Wars theme. And on top of that, you get a great selection of really iconic and recognizable minifigures all in this one set. One of the things I hate the most is when you have a group like this, like the Bad Batch, but then LEGO will disperse all the characters and minifigures in different sets, forcing you to buy all the different sets to assemble the team. It kind of reminds me like the Infinity War sets, or even going back as far as the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. If you want to get the entire group, like the Fellowship of the Ring, you'd have to go out and buy an entire wave of sets, which is way too expensive. So I'm glad they included all the members here in one set. So yeah, a really cool set, and my love for it has definitely grown since the show came out. Okay, so moving on here, we are now at our top 3 sets. At number 3, we have set number 75316, the Mandalorian Starfighter. This set retails for $60 and includes 544 pieces. Now, I have wanted a remake of this Mandalorian Starfighter for the longest time now, ever since we saw the first one, and I think this set executes on that perfectly. This build is absolutely amazing. I think it looks a lot better than the last one. It still has all the functionalities of the Mandalorian Starfighter, and also it does look a little bit small in photos, but trust me, in person it's a little bit bigger. Like, that cockpit can actually fit 2 minifigures, not just one, so don't worry, it's not that small. But yeah, just look at this thing. It just looks really cool, right? And I think LEGO did a great job of making it here in LEGO form. There are just some vehicles out there in the Star Wars universe that just look really cool. Like, words wouldn't really do it justice. I couldn't really explain why it's so good. You just kind of have to look at it and appreciate what it is. And this is one of those sets. I just think if you look at it, it does look really cool. But then you pair that with the fact that you get a really nice selection of minifigures. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a really big fan of Mandalorian armor. And in this set, we get 3 Mandalorians. We get a basic Mandalorian trooper here. And just as a basic unnamed character, I think he looks really good. And we get the highly requested and highly sought after Bo-Katan. Obviously, Bo-Katan is a very important character from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, but ever since she appeared in The Mandalorian, fans have been asking for this minifigure so much more. And luckily, her outfit doesn't really change all that much from The Clone Wars to The Mandalorian, so this minifigure kind of works in both scenarios. But just look at that minifigure. I think it looks really good. It gets the look of Bo-Katan across so well here, and it also does include that hairpiece as well, which is great to see. Bo-Katan is an absolute badass, and I think this minifigure captures that look perfectly. And lastly, in this set, we have arguably one of the best looking Mandalorian minifigures of all time. I'm definitely biased to Boba Fett, but if I wasn't, I'd have to say it's this. We have Gar Saxon in his Clone Wars Season 7 outfit. Gar Saxon wasn't all that important in Season 7. He was kind of like a side character. Darth Maul was running the show, but he's still one of the coolest looking designs I've ever seen on a Star Wars character. Like, just look at that helmet, look at the printing, the color combination with the gunmetal gray, the red, and the yellow. It just looks so good. And LEGO recreated that here perfectly in minifigure form. This is definitely one of the best minifigures of the year. But still a great minifigure and a great selection of minifigures here, all included in a really nice set. So moving on here, at number 2, we have set number 75312, Boba Fett Starship. This set retails for $50 and includes 593 pieces. Now yes, it's called Boba Fett Starship. That's a little bit weird. Unfortunately, it was actually renamed by Disney. Now, do I agree with the name change? Not really. I've always called this thing the Slave One, and I'm probably still gonna call it the Slave One. I think it's been renamed to like the Fire Sprayer or something like that. That is just not gonna stick in my mind. I've been calling it the Slave One for way too long now. Either way though, name change aside, this is a absolutely fantastic set. Now, I'm going to be extremely biased here. As a lot of you guys know, Boba Fett is like my favorite character in Star Wars. So obviously I'm very excited that he's getting his own show, but I also really enjoy it when LEGO makes sets entirely based on Boba Fett. Getting different variations of the Slave One, or sets like Jabba's Palace, or even the Cloud Sea Escape, stuff like that, things that have to do with Boba Fett, are easily some of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets, solely because of the fact that he is in those scenes. Like, my favorite LEGO Star Wars set of all time is the UCS Slave One. I still own that set. I have it displayed at home, and in my opinion, it's one of the most impressive LEGO Star Wars sets ever made. So the Slave One is a really cool vehicle. Boba Fett is really cool. We all agree on that. But then this set also does something that we talked about earlier, which is give us a really nice build, a really nice vehicle at a much more affordable price point. So we did actually get a Slave One a couple years ago. Unfortunately, that was a normal size LEGO set, and it did cost over $100. But this right here, this is also a Slave One. It's also a very nice build. It works and functions just like a Slave One, but it also costs less than half the price at $50. This right here is an absolutely amazing set, and is exactly what I wanted to see with that newer line of more affordable LEGO Star Wars vehicles. And then also on top of that, you get a little build of a speeder here, which also doubles as a display stand. And then we get to the minifigures. We get to see that Mando minifigure again here. He looks great as usual, but then, oh my god, we got an amazing Boba Fett minifigure wearing his outfit from The Mandalorian Season 2. Now, just with the last pick at number 3, we were talking about Gar Saxon and how that's the best looking Mandalorian minifigure ever. So I did mention there I am heavily biased toward Boba Fett, and fortunately because I'm biased to Boba Fett, this minifigure just looks way better to me. I know a lot of you probably disagree with me, it's just that Boba Fett has been such an important character to me personally, so getting a really cool rendition of his character here in Lego form is absolutely amazing. I still kind of think his jetpack and helmet here should have been molded in the dark green. I'm not really sure how that would look, but I feel like that'd be a little bit more accurate to how he looks in the show. But make sure to let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 1 set here. And this is something I think a lot of you guys probably would have predicted. So at number 1, guys, we have set number 75313, the Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT. This set retails for a whopping $800 and also includes 6,785 pieces, making it tied for the most expensive Lego Star Wars set ever made. Now, not much I can really say to explain why this set is so amazing. I mean, just look at it. It's a super large Lego AT-AT walker. Like, how does that not look cool to any Lego Star Wars fan? And the main reason that I have it at number 1 on my list here is that I think this set is going to go down as one of those legendary Lego Star Wars sets. Like, this is a set that we can look back decades from now and we'll still remember how great it was. Like, I am pretty much putting this in the same tier as the UCS Millennium Falcon, the UCS Imperial Star Destroyer, and also the Lego Death Star. Like, these are sets that we're going to be talking about years from now. They're sets that we're going to be getting remakes of, and they're sets that are going to be on store shelves that are going to be sought after by fans for years to come. And that's pretty much because these vehicles and locations and sets are just iconic. Yes, the AT-AT isn't seen in the movies as much as, say, the Millennium Falcon or even the Imperial Star Destroyer, but the thing is, it's grown on people, right? And I think Hoth is probably most Lego Star Wars fans' favorite battle. And because of that, this set is going to hold a lot of value. So yeah, I just think it's too much of an impressive build. The fact that they are even able to build this thing standing on 4 legs that can actually be posed is really impressive. And yeah, this is just one of those years for Lego Star Wars. The AT-AT will definitely be one of the most recognizable Lego Star Wars sets of all time. So guys, there it is. There is every single Lego Star Wars set of 2021 ranked. Again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this list is just my opinion, so make sure to head down in the comments below and let me know what your list looked like. Did you guys agree with some of my picks here? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys think I'm absolutely crazy? Whatever you're thinking, guys, anything and everything, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. And if you haven't done so already and would like to get your hands on some of these sets that we looked at today, make sure to enter the giveaway for $100 worth of your choice of Lego sets. But as usual, guys, that will pretty much do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.